Hi, I'm Saki, and today I'm going to show you how to use Davinci Resolve to Photoshop a shadow out of a photo. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I using a video editing software to edit a photo? Well, that's because it's what I know how to use, and it's free software, and I don't know, I think it's fine. But the techniques I'm showing in this video are just kind of the basic concepts. So you should be able to translate this over into Photoshop or GIMP or whatever other program you're using. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are in Davinci Resolve. I've imported my snapshot and dragged it to the timeline. So this is the picture we're going to be working with. This is a really great photo taken by my friend Chris Barber. And we are going to take out his shadow. That's him standing right there. And it's not because he's a newbie photographer. He's actually a really good photographer. It's because the sun was coming in at a certain angle and he had to be there for that shot. That's where he had to stand. So anyway, we're going to take out his shadow. So we'll go over to the color tab right here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out that shadow using a mask. So let's go over here to the Windows tab right here, Window, and we're going to select Curve. I'm going to zoom in, zoom in right here, and just draw an outline around the shadow. I'm not going to be super precise about it. If I were actually like getting paid to do this professionally, I would spend a little bit more time being all precise, but I'm not, so I'm going to do this really quickly so that I don't take all day with this tutorial. Right. So this was a really fun shoot. Let's see. Hold on, let me zoom out for this part. So right here, I was about to go cut off that part of the shadow, but if you look at this side, there's actually a lip on the pier or deck. I don't know what this thing is. There's a little lip right here and it's casting a shadow. And we actually want to keep that on this side because there is also a wooden lip here. So I'm going to go all the way across here and make a fake shadow. All right, and then, do I climb up the wall here or do I go here? I think this is how physics works. Okay, and then let's go across here. Oops, I need to go lower. There we go. Around there. All right. Yeah, so this is a really cool shoot. It's for an art piece. The wings I made, they're going to be exhibited in a museum, a local museum, and so we had to take some photographs of it so that we could sell prints for the museum, because I guess that's how the museum makes money, is by selling prints. So that was the occasion for this shoot. All right. Oh, I totally missed that corner. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here. And now I have outlined the entire shadow. And if you click this little button right here, this highlight button, you can see exactly what was cut out. So I'm going to click that again, and we're going to go over here to curves. And as you can see, doing anything with this will change only the part that we selected. It's like magic. All right, so the general concept here is we're going to bring up the level of the shadows. And what's going to happen is we'll have to do some color correction because the shadows are not just dark. They're dark and they're also not colored correctly because the sun is golden and it's making things golden, and the shadows are not golden, so we're gonna have to re-golden them. Okay, so we'll have to bring them up and then probably do some color adjustments here. Very important, if you're a rookie, you're probably gonna bring it up and go like, okay, that looks about right. Now it's pale as heck, so I'm gonna add back saturation, and that does not work. Let me tell you, it does not work. So I'm going to undo that. And we have to find the correct color balance here for the brightness. And actually, that looks really great there. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to leave it somewhere terrible. Let's pretend like we think that looks right. And I'm going to show you a really cool trick. So click your node right here, put Alt and then S, hold down Alt and put S, and that creates a serial node. And this is going to apply all of the effects that you apply to here on the whole thing, on all of the nodes that were before it, but at this point in time. I guess it's not time, but okay, you'll see. Okay, so if I have this node highlighted and I alter it, you can see it alters the entire image. I'm going to undo. But if I have this node highlighted, I can do this and it won't affect anything afterward. So I'm going to highlight this node. And oh, you should always label your nodes. I'm going to right click that and put shadow. Okay, so got this node highlighted, and what we're going to do is completely desaturate it. So we're going to turn it into a black and white photograph, and right away you can see that this part kind of sticks out. It's not the correct lighting. So this is a fun a useful little cheat hack for people who can't just ignore the colors and match the lighting. So right here, it's really obvious that, or if I zoom out, it's even more obvious that we brought up the shadows too much. So what I'm going to do is just kind of move this around until it looks like it blends in. Like right there is actually pretty good. So yeah, actually this looks great for a black and white photograph. So I'm going to put Control F and do full screen. Like this is a massive improvement. You could still totally tell that it's been edited, but it's pretty good. You know, you might not notice it if your eyes are just drawn to the subject, me. All right, so Escape or Control F to exit full screen mode. And what we're going to do now is adjust the colors. So make sure you go back and select the other node, not the shadow. Now we're going to go back to saturation, double click that, 50, that's the default, and bring back the color to the photograph. And now we're going to fix the shadow. We're going to make it golden. So we got shadows, midtones, and highlights, and then offset is like all three combined. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have to use offset, or we don't have to, but it's a good head start. Everything needs to be a little bit more golden, so what I'm going to do is nudge this in the gold direction. Oh wait, hold on, undo. You need to select the node. So I had this node selected, and we should actually select shadow because we only want to mess with the shadow's coloration. Okay, now that shadow's selected, we're going to go to offset, and just to show you kind of an extreme example, I'm going to push it really far. Okay, so now it's too orange. So I'm going to go to around there. It's a little too red right now. Actually, there it looks really great. And I'm going to zoom in just so we can see a little bit better. If you wanted to, you could actually probably do this independently with each of the dials, but this actually looks really great by itself. I could tell it's a little bit more yellow than here, but otherwise it's great. So let's fix that. Let's make this a little less yellow. So we have three dials here. We have shadows, midtones, and highlights. And if you're having issues figuring out which one of those dials you should be messing with, here's a pro tip. If you go to highlight and you go like, oh, maybe I want to change like the bright parts of this thing I'm masking off, you can take this and just drag it all the way to some extremes, all the way. And what they'll do is it allows you to wobble it, and you can see exactly what's being changed. And in this case, it's this little outline right here. So, and not much else is being changed. So clearly there's not that many highlights in our shadow. I'm going to click this little arrow, the circle arrow, to revert that. And then so maybe we actually need to alter the midtones. And then so I'll just take that to some extreme and wobble it around and go like, okay, clearly we're changing a lot when we swivel the midtone dial around. And maybe I'll warm that up, put some red into it. Actually, that looks fine. Okay, and then maybe I'll just tweak the shadows a little bit. Okay, clearly too yellow, clearly too red, maybe in between, and also less extreme. Actually, you know what? I'm going to undo that because I think it looked fine without the shadows being altered. And let's see, it looks a little too rich compared to the other stuff. I'm going to see if bringing down saturation will help it. it helps it a little bit. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with that result. I'm going to full screen it so I can see. That looks pretty good. Escape to get out of there. And another pro tip, zoom out, because in a thumbnail version you can actually tell right away if something's off. So for example, if I zoom in really close and I'm trying to micro adjust these things to match, and let's say like this is a little bit off, just a little bit, and oh, whoa. Okay, like right here it doesn't look too bad, but when I zoom out you can kind of clearly see that this little zone is quite a bit darker than the rest. So let me undo that. So yeah, that's like our basic fix. This actually looks really good. It's a completely passable photo. The only thing I'm going to do is clean up this little edge right here. So let's go back to our mask, and I don't know if this is a bug in Resolve, but if you click and then click again, it will remove the outline. I don't know if that's intentional, but it works. Okay, so go down here to softness under the window tab. Go to softness and turn that up. And we have blurred our edges. Yay! Okay. The only thing is that also blurs this edge. So let me undo that to show you. So we have a kind of realistic shadow and it's less realistic. Actually, if we split the difference, it might look fine. So I'm just going to try that. So at the point that it blends in here, we're kind of losing some definition here. So a way I would fix that, if we're gonna get really picky, is to probably do two separate masks. So we'll do a mask here to get that correct blur in, and then we'll do a separate mask here so we get a sharp edge, a sharp defined edge on that shadow. But we're not going to do that right now because that's way too much work for this tutorial. So I'm also noticing actually that kind of does not look like a believable shape for this shadow. So let me click here and click back in, and that brings our outline back. And I think it needs to do more of that. Maybe let me readjust that. Maybe like that. That looks a little bit better. Oh, I think it has to go all the way to the corner. See, this is what I say when I don't know about physics and lights and optics and stuff. That actually looks real. Okay, great. I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, two more really small things we gotta do to this photo is remove this shadow on the rail. I didn't include it in the original one, in the original mask, because I felt like this is wooden and it's going to have totally different reflective properties compared to the rail. So, and then the other thing is just like, it was going to make the mask a really weird shape. So anyway, let's go in and fix this railing. So what I'm going to do is add another node. So we have shadow highlighted. I'm going to put Alt S to add another node after it, another serial node. And we'll call this one pole shadow. Just pull. Okay. And I'm just going to do this kind of quickly. Alright, we got our window selected, curve, and I'm going to draw an outline around this shadow. Okay. And right here, we're gonna use the same trick. I'm gonna select this node right here, go to saturation, turn that to 0, and then go back to pole, and then fix it there until it looks good as a black and white photo. Then go back here, turn that saturation back up to 50, and then do my color correction. So make sure that you have pole selected, not the whole photo. And let's make it orangey gold. That's too green. I'm going to go to the red direction. That's too red. Around there. Maybe I'll dial that back a little bit. And there's a really harsh line there, so I'm going to go back to the window mode. And let me click this and click it again. That'll remove that outline, because the outline makes it a little bit hard to see. And then softness, we'll turn that up to it blended. Okay, and I think it still looks a little bit gray compared to the rest of it, so I'm going to take those midtones and again go like, oh, what am I actually modifying? And turn that to the yellow zone. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's see if I need to mess with the shadows. Drag the shadows around. Let me revert that. The shadows actually look fine. I'm not going to mess with the shadows. Okay, one last mask. Let me zoom out so you can see what it is. Can you guess? Alright, it's going to be... Oh my god, this little playback bar is in the way. Okay. It's right here. There's still a little bit of residual shadow here, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make another serial node by clicking Alt-S, or by typing Alt-S. And we're going to call this... What even is this? Plank? Lip? Wood? We'll call it a lip. Okay. We're going to make one more mask. There. Same thing. I'm just going to do this super speedily because y'all have seen the process twice already. Okay. Let's see. I might have come out too far. Right there. Okay. And then I'm going to use our same trick. Come here, turn down the saturation, come back to lip mask, and turn up the brightness a little bit until it matches around there. That's pretty good. And go back here, turn up our saturation to 50, the default. Go back to lip and try to color match that. I think it's midtones. Let me see. Alright. Midtones are going to be golden brown? Maybe the highlights actually. Let me see. Oh yeah, you can see some of the highlights in this one. See as I wobble it around in the extremes. Okay, let's do some golden highlights. Okay, it's reasonable. And then shadows. I think they're actually redder shadows. This is where experience comes into play. Okay, that's decent. I'm gonna go back here and turn up the softness to, oh wait. Click this and click it twice. Turn off those outlines, and I'm gonna blur it. Oh, that's not working. Okay, blur it only very slightly. Okay, I think we're done. I think this is at a place where I can be happy with it. So I'm gonna Control F for full screen. That looks really good. We have kind of successfully removed the shadow. At least it's not noticeable right away. So yeah, okay. Oh. Very, very important. I forgot to say this at the beginning. So I'm going to zoom in. You're going to see it gets a little bit grainy right here on my face. Look at all those pixels. Okay, the original was not pixelated. It was really high quality, and I think this is set to like YouTube quality, YouTube HD. So the way to change that, go to File, Project Settings, and go to timeline resolution and switch that to the maximum they got, which is VistaVision, or is it? Oh, there's even Ultra HD. Let's do that. Okay, so actually these, the originals were 6,000 by 4,000 pixels, but it won't let you go that high. I don't know why. Like I tried to do a custom one where I entered 6,000, but it stops at 600. I don't know why they put that cap on there, but you can also, if I go to custom and I try to enter 6,000, it lets me enter 600, but it won't let me put the last zero. So I don't know what's going on, but anyway, I'm going to select the highest that they've got. So if this is a concern for you, then you probably should use Photoshop, but I'm pretty sure this is enough pixels for most monitors, so we're going to go with that. Save. All right, and now, wow, that's a great shot of my boob. Look how fewer pixels it is. So yeah, there's a much higher resolution photograph. And then to save this, right click with the, I guess, eyedropper tool, grab still. And then we're gonna, now we've grabbed it, we're gonna right click that again and export. Okay, and then I think by default it has it as a DPX file, which is like some sort of format where Davinci Resolve, I don't know, it's something that it uses, but I can't find another use for this format. Anyway, I'm going to save it as a TIFF because most things can open TIFFs. Okay, and I'll be like, edit for YouTube. All right, cool. So now I've exported it and I have an image saved. So that's it. That's how you remove a shadow from a photo using Davinci Resolve. And let me full screen that so you can see the final result. Ta-da! Oh wait, not ta-da yet. I have a better thing. Go here to the split screen view, and then go down to this drop down menu, versions and original, and then full screen that. Ooh! So now you can see the before and after, and brag about it. You know what? I'm just realizing something. I think this shadow is part of his camera strap. Maybe I was supposed to remove that too. I'll fix that later. But anyway, most of the shadow's removed, and yeah. From here you can do all sorts of fun things. So like, actually, let me select this last node, and we'll just play around with it for a sec. But I don't want to. This is not the main point of the tutorial. You can give it the instant Instagram filter by giving it higher contrast. Just drag this down, drag this up. So this is making your highlights more highlighty, and your low lights more low lighty. Let's see. This does all sorts of things in the middle. Okay, and other things you can do, you can super saturate it. Oh wait, here's a fun one. Let me add another node after this, Alt-S, and this will be just the sky. So this is all bonus level stuff. If you just wanted to know how to Photoshop a shadow out, you can skip the rest of the video, but I'm going to show you some bonus things, bonus features right now. So right now, let me label that as sky. Okay, I'm going to just make the sky bluer. It's going to be fun. Okay, so I'm in the qualifier mode, and I'm in the picker mode of selection range. And let me just highlight what we're selecting. I'm going to pick the sky by clicking and dragging all over the sky. And it gets the water too, because the ocean reflects the sky. Who would have thunk? Okay. Alright, exit that. Oh, actually, go back in. I'm going to denoise it a little because you will notice it. Okay, get out of highlight mode and check it out. We can change just the sky without changing me. Wait, did I miss a spot? I totally missed a spot. Hold on, let me add this spot. So I put the plus sign. I'm going to click this part that I missed. I'm still missing it. Why am I missing it? Add you. Huh, I'm perplexed. I don't know why it's not adding. We're going to ignore that for now. Okay, so yeah, you can mess with just the sky. This is a fun one. You can make the sky a different color. Ooh, that is so pretty. And then add another serial node. Let's say I want to change the deck color, because now that I have this nice purple sky, it doesn't make any sense with the golden sun. So let's go to the qualifier. Let me put pure, or is it a deck? Who knows? Okay. And I'm going to select the deck. Oops, I'm in the wrong mode. And select the deck. Here we go. Whoa, it selected all of me too. I'm going to go to the subtraction sign and click on my dress, and it is gone. And we're going to, oh wait, how come it selected, or it deselected the shadows? Let me add the shadows back in. Okay, that unfortunately adds most of me back in. I'm going to undo that. We'll work with this. Okay. Oh wait, denoise. Denoise. Blur it. Okay, I also don't really want it to mess with my face, but we'll see what happens. Okay, to de-bronze something, so gold is right here, orange, yellow. We're going to drag it to the opposite end of the spectrum to remove the gold. I have removed the gold. Now it looks really weird. Let's see. There's no thing that looks good, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to desaturate it. And then I'm also going to make it a little bit pinky blue. Alright, full screen that to see. That looks terrible, but it was fun anyway. Okay, so yeah, that's stuff you can do with Davinci Resolve if you don't have Photoshop. Davinci Resolve is free. There's like an upgradable version that you can pay money for, but who does that? So, free software, this is like pretty much just as good as Photoshop, as long as you're okay with it being limited as far as resolution. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Yeah, have fun photoshopping. I mean, have fun resolving. Alright, for more tutorials like this one and other tutorials not like this one, subscribe to my channel.